So, Cathie Wood has just talked about Bitcoin. This time, she shared her thoughts on the potential for a Bitcoin ETF and why institutions are pushing up the price. Listen up, this is really important because this could have a huge impact on the price of Bitcoin. So I don't know about you, but back in 2017, I was in crypto. I was actually working full-time in the industry, and I was eagerly awaiting the launch of the first Bitcoin ETF in the United States. I was told it would pave the pathway for institutions to finally enter the market, which would send the price all the way to $100,000 and higher. Yeah, that didn't happen back then. Instead, ETF application after application was dismissed by the SEC on the grounds of potentially fraudulent and manipulative practices and the need for the SEC to protect investors and the public interest. So if you're skeptical about a Bitcoin ETF being launched in the US, I get it. I've been there myself. I thought there would be one already by now, and I have to hold my hands up and say I was wrong. However, as Cathie is going to explain in this video, with a little bit of my input too, things are very different in 2021. Today, things are now beginning to line up in a way which could lead to a US Bitcoin ETF this year or early next year. Let's jump straight in to Cathie sharing her thoughts on a Bitcoin ETF and institutional adoption.
Bitcoin is on everybody's mind right now. Your next-gen internet fund has a very large position in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Your thoughts on this? Your thoughts on Bitcoin, a Bitcoin ETF for 2021? Is it coming? And do you have any concerns that the Grayscale closed-end fund still trading at a pretty significant premium?
Well, the premiums come down quite a bit. I think now that we know that the next SEC commissioner is going to be David Gensler, who spent the last few years at MIT teaching a class about blockchain technology, Bitcoin. I think he understands the technology and he understands the currency itself. So I think the probability of an ETF has gone up. We also know that the director of research for crypto in the crypto space at the SEC has been promoted and will be reporting directly to Gensler. So again, I think we have individuals now involved who really understand the space. And I think the likelihood has gone up. What has surprised us, we expected institutional interest to pick up this year, and it certainly has. But the way in which it's picked up has surprised us. I don't think we ever thought there would be broad-based substitution of Bitcoin for cash on corporate balance sheets. So we find that very interesting. If all corporations in the United States were to put, I think it's, 10% of their cash into Bitcoin, that alone would add $200,000 to the Bitcoin price. Now, we obviously do not believe this is going to happen very quickly. We're talking about maybe the equivalent of $900 billion market cap equivalent for Bitcoin. That's less than half the price of the Apples and Amazons of the world. So this has to mature a little bit before broad-based adoption can take place. But we're very reassured that companies like Square and Tesla have chosen to allocate. They're on the right side of change when it comes to innovation. And therefore, we think it's wise that they diversify some of their cash. And I think the biggest surprise to many Tesla doubters is that it is now in a position where it has that much cash that it is diversifying.